Today on ELN Morning.
The storm may be over, but the cleanup has just begun. We talked to some ELN students who will go home to a different St. Thomas.
Under wraps and under budget, a local Burlington business is thriving and you might not even know it exists.
He's been in office less than 48 hours and he's already making plans. We got to know first-year class president Cam Waddell.
All that and more.
ELN Morning starts right now.
Good morning, Elon. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Liam Collins.
And I'm Megan Gittleman. We're starting off our show with live coverage from the Call to Honor.
And it's an Elon tradition for new students. Well, they will be introduced to the University Honor Code.
Our Rachel Ellis is live in Alumni Gym where Call to Honor is currently happening. Rachel?
New students, well, they will be...
Good morning, Megan and Liam. Rachel Ellis here right outside of Alumni Gym where the 12th annual Call to Honor ceremony is just getting started. The class of 2021 will hear from their newly elected freshman class president as well as President Leo Lambert. You'll be hearing later in the broadcast from our newly elected class president. But right now, the Call to Honor ceremony will be highlighting Elon's honor code. This year, the specific word that will be highlighted is integrity. This word is used to bring the community together and remind Elon students what values we hold at this university. Live in front of Alumni Gym, in front of Alumni Gym, Rachel Ellis, Elon Morning.
Thanks, Rachel. Call to Honor will be over by 10:20 this morning.
And turning now to national news, the storm has passed, but the effects from Hurricane Irma are far from over. Hurricane Irma tore through Florida with winds nearing 130 miles per hour. Irma was downgraded to a tropical storm as it entered states like Georgia and South Carolina. Before hitting Florida, Hurricane Irma hit the Caribbean islands, causing widespread damage. Our Maya Eaglin sat down with some native Caribbean students who watched from miles away.
As the same clouds of Irma pass through the Carolinas, sophomore Chantrese Howard is reminded of her home in St. Thomas.
I was a Kamashapata as kind of a queen 20.
But she knows when she returns, things will look a little different.
The doors are gone, all the windows were gone, the cars were gone, and the neighborhood around them was just destroyed.
Her family sent her these photos of the damage, places she grew up with almost unrecognizable.
It may sound weird, but I wish that I was there to experience it with them because it would have been easier for me to have been there than to be here in school worrying about, are they okay? Is the house okay?
Though she's hundreds of miles away, she has one thing that makes her feel a bit closer. Destiny Frett went to high school in St. Thomas with Howard.
Across it, you can see the cruise ship port. Because it was like a little bit of home, somebody that I knew was going through the same thing that I was, and was also like looking for answers.
But only so much can help distract them from reality.
It's definitely been challenging. I could not focus in any of my classes on Thursday, and I was just like, on Friday I was like, I can't go to class because I was constantly like checking Facebook because that was my only way to like know exactly what's happening.
Their homes may need rebuilding, but the people of St. Thomas are supporting each other. Maya Eaglin, ELN Morning.
For more information on how to donate and help the U.S. Virgin Islands rebuild, visit elonnewsnetwork.com. Just absolutely insane what's been going down in the southern part of the country with the storm.
Yeah. And I heard over in the Florida Keys, it's estimated that almost every single home there is damaged. It's crazy.
I mean, we got a little bit of Hurricane Irma up here, but it's been looking pretty good so far. But we have Alex Hager live in studio to talk about our Phoenix 5-day forecast, what we can expect for the rest of the week. Alex?
Well, thank you, Liam, and that's right. Hurricane Irma did bring some heavy rains through Elon as we just got the outer edge of that storm, but things have cleared up a bit, and they've warmed up a bit, too, starting today. After a cold couple weeks with chilly overnight temperatures, things are going to get back up into the 80s today with a high of 83. And this is kind of one of those standard North Carolina days where you leave the house with a sweatshirt on and you want to be far, far away from it by the afternoon or by the evening. as it will only get down to 61 overnight. And looking ahead at the Phoenix 5-day forecast, the weather is going to be very warm, and it's also going to be very consistent. As we head into the weekend, we're going to see a high of 81 tomorrow with a low of only 62. And then on Saturday, we've got some great tailgate weather for ELN football's home opener. That one's at 6 p.m. at Rhodes Stadium, and it is going to be 83 degrees out there on Saturday and a low of only 62 at night, so it won't cool off too much. And it'll pretty much stay that way through the beginning of all next week. Highs in the low 80s from Sunday to Tuesday, and it'll only get down to the 60s at night. So even though fall is right around the corner, summer is really hanging on here in ELN as we've got some warm temperatures coming into the beginning of next week. For ELN Morning, Alex Hager, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alex. We have that to look forward to for the rest of the week, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this week's ELN chapter of Active Minds, Sparks and DMAX have teamed up to raise awareness for mental illness. Sparks passed out pins with the number 1 in 4, signifying 1 in 4 adults living with mental illness. Throughout the week, the organization's promoted resources for struggling students both on and off campus. All week, people were encouraged to write the names of those who have committed suicide on a bag in remembrance. According to Active Minds, more than half of college students have had suicidal thoughts.
The messages they've been trying to spread all week: it's okay not to be okay. Asking for help does not make you weak. ELN Jr. and peer educator of Sparks, Kendall Crosby, says she's hoping events like this will tear down that stigma and show people who are struggling they are loved and cared for.
People think that they're alone, when they have these depressive thoughts and suicidal thoughts, but they're not. And that's the main goal that we want to get when we're doing campaigning like this, just so that people understand that you are not alone.
And Active Minds, Sparks, and DMAX encourage anyone struggling with their mental health to ask for help.
Now, if you've never heard of DMAX, it's a nationwide nonprofit organization with clubs at colleges around the country. Their goal is to erase the stigma surrounding mental illness. The organization was founded by the parents of a college student who committed suicide. His name was Dan Maxwell, hence the name DMAX.
Now we have president of ELN's chapter of DMAX, Ashley Jacks, live with us in studio. Thank you so much for being here, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
It's really early in the morning, so I'm glad you're here today. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this week, what you're going to be doing for the rest of the week for this?
Yeah, so we haven't actually had a meeting yet. Our first meeting is tonight at 7. We meet in Belk Pavilion Room 200, and we really encourage anyone who can make it to come out. We will have those meetings every week. But the topics that we talk about are just eliminating the stigma surrounding mental illness and encouraging those conversations because they're so important to have, especially on college campuses where it's a really big topic that's not really talked about.
And what is the importance of this week? What would you hope that would come out of it?
I just hope that obviously awareness is raised for suicide prevention because it does happen. Just because people don't talk about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, and that it's really important. It's not like a negative, I mean, it is a negative thing, but like it's not bad to talk about.
Now, you talked a little about that stigma earlier. What is the stigma, especially here at ELN?
A lot of the stigma that I've seen personally is people just don't want to talk about anything regarding to mental health, mental illness, even though they're like two separate things. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Ashley, for being here. Really appreciate it. So for more information on DMAX, check out their website, dmax.foundation.org.
We are now 3 weeks into the semester, and if you're a new student, you probably know your way around campus at this point. But our Paula Blanc has 4 things you may not know. Take a look.
At this point in the semester, the term papers and group projects are already underway. If you need a place to study, Belk Library is a great resource, but you need to know where to sit. The first floor is a great place for group projects. You can be as loud as you want, and there are large tables that can fit everyone in your group. The second floor is a great place to go with a study partner. You can't be as loud as the first floor, but you can still speak softly. Third floor is great if you need complete silence for that last-minute deadline. If you've tried that term paper a couple different times but you can't get it right, try the Writing Center located in the back of the first floor. Trained students are there to help you get the start your paper needs at no cost. The Writing Center is open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday. Even after 3 weeks, you may still find your meal plan confusing. If you have the all-access meal plan, you can go to the colonnades and lakeside dining halls all you want. If you have the all-access plus 7 plan, you can still go to those dining halls, but you also get 7 swipes per week at the third-party dining options on campus, like Qdoba or Topios. All-access plus 14 works the same way, except instead of 7 swipes per week, you get 14. These swipes reset every Wednesday morning. And if you need a study break, ELN's golf range and swimming pool are open to any student with a Phoenix card. The golf range is located behind the University Medical Center and is open every week from 4 to 7 p.m. Across campus, ELN's indoor swimming pool is located in the Corey Athletic Center and is open every weekend from noon to 2 p.m. and then again from 4 to 6 p.m. With your 4 things to know, I'm Paul LeBlanc, ELN Morning.
And coming up, one freshman is already making a name for himself.
And you may have seen these shirts around campus. We learn what they're all about coming up. Welcome back. An ELN sophomore is starting a movement to end insecurity through selling t-shirts. The Trust Your Art t-shirts urge students to be confident in both themselves and in their work. Board model Salem Mitchell uploaded an Instagram picture featuring the t-shirt, receiving more than 12,000 likes. Creator of the fashion line, Olivia Murray, says it's less about the t-shirts and more about the message behind them.
Trust Your Art isn't like simply a t-shirt, it's movement. I want people to wear this shirt and feel confident within themselves and within whatever they're doing. It doesn't have to be art, it doesn't have to be like schoolwork, it doesn't have to be whatever, but just like something that you're extremely passionate about.
And not only is Murray in charge of the Trust Your Art movement, but she is also the sophomore class president. That's my class. Personal connection there. Murray is serving as a mentor for newly elected first-year class president Cameron Waddell. Our Rachel Ellis sat down with Cameron to talk about his plans as president.
What's a way that I can just jump in and really kind of be on the front lines of, making ELN the best, 4 years I can.
That was Cameron Waddell's inspiration behind deciding to run for Student Government Association first-year class president. And while he's been in office less than 48 hours, he says that this is an important time for him and his peers.
Like that everyone right now is just uncomfortable. Everyone's, showing their true selves and stuff, and I think it's really interesting.
As Waddell approaches his first few weeks in office, he wants to give everyone on campus a voice.
I'm only I think it's like 1,553rd of like this class. So I'm hoping being open-minded and being approachable and all that stuff will be good so that I can kind of get a feel for what the class wants and not just what I think's right.
Former first-year class president and newly elected sophomore class president Olivia Murray believes that, like the transition to college, getting into student government is no different.
Getting used to an environment that you're not used to being in is very overwhelming at times, and just making sure that he knows that he can take a step back and just kind of reflect on the work that he's trying to do and the work that he's already done.
For Waddell, he is ready to get started serving his community.
I think this is a really critical time, seeing if there's any major events that can be planned or that can bring kids together.
Waddell's first appearance as class president is today's call to honor. Rachel Ellis, ELN Morning.
Waddell was running against multiple other members of the freshman class and said he was pleasantly surprised when he heard he'd won.
One thing Waddell might have done this summer was read this year's common reading book titled Make Your Home Among Strangers. If you're looking for something to do today, the author of the book, Janine Capo-Crusay, will be on campus today to talk about her novel. Crusay will be in L Center from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. today to talk to students. She'll also be giving a lecture in Alumni Gym tonight at 5 p.m.
And another event coming up. Students are encouraged to join in the discussion on the controversial Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals immigration policy, also known as DACA, after the Trump administration announced it was being rescinded last week. ELN's Council of Civic Engagement is putting on a panel called DACA: What it is, what is happening now, and what might be in the future for those enrolled. The panel will take place on Monday from 5:15 to 6:15 p.m. in LaRose Theater. Students are encouraged to stay after the panel for further discussion and refreshments organized by Latinx and Hispanic students.
After the break, we'll sit down with a booming Burlington business.
And upgrade your pizza with a fast food favorite coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back to ELN Morning. Here's what's trending on social media today. After the devastation of Hurricane Irma, cleanup is already underway and some decided to take it to their own hands. Sister Margaret Ann, a principal of a high school in Miami, went out with a chainsaw to clear a tree that was blocking the road to her school, and class will definitely not be canceled for those students.
And Apple just announced the new 10-year anniversary iPhone X. The iPhone features an edge-to-edge screen and no home button. You unlock the phone with your face. They even created emojis that move with your face. The price for this phone begins at $999.
And as the world prepares for the Winter Olympics in South Korea, the International Olympic Committee announced 2 cities which will be holding the Summer Olympics. In 2024, the Summer Olympics will be held in Paris, France, and in 2028, they will be held in Los Angeles. It'll be good to have those Olympics back here in the States.
And bringing it back to Burlington, our Jackie Pascal found a restaurant that is defying the odds with a successful business streak and a stake in the community.
Through this side of Burlington, North Carolina, it seems to be business as usual. Auto repair shops and restaurants line the streets, putting on the front of a busy and growing economy. Esperanza Villalobos has been a part of this business community for a while.
We opened October 2007.
Okay, so coming up 10 years?
Yep, in October. It'll be 10 years in October.
Wow. Villalobos and her mother own the Mexican restaurant Taqueria Aslan. They say they pride themselves on being one of the few businesses in East Burlington that have survived and continue to thrive despite the decline of businesses, which Villalobos has seen firsthand.
I mean, we've seen food trucks come and go nonstop. So, and we've seen a lot of businesses come and go at the same time as well.
Why do you think it's such a revolving door in East Burlington? A lot of the businesses, you're right, they don't stay around for too long.
Because a lot of people expect to make tons and tons of money on the spot. Like, they want to make all the money they invested within the first 6 months, which is honestly impossible.
Villalobos isn't concerned about not being downtown because her store has a big enough reputation for customers to make the drive across the tracks.
I've had a couple that come like from Durham, from Virginia, from Greensboro, well, obviously Grand, Mebane, ELN, Haw River.
So they're traveling from all over. What makes this business so special, and why are they traveling so far?
I guess the food is like real authentic. We make everything on the spot, so it's a lot fresher than other businesses. And we're cheap, I guess a little less expensive than other restaurants.
Authentic, affordable, and appetizing. Jackie Pascal, ELN Morning.
You can read more about the food and prices at Taqueria Aslan on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com. It'll also be in next week's Pendulum as an Elon Eats feature that comes out next Wednesday. And Liam, you're going to love this. If you're looking to mix up your go-to pizza slice, I tried out a recipe with a fast food twist. Check it out. All right, Liam, we have the pizza here in studio. Are you ready to try my masterpiece?
I am ready, Megan. Let me tell you, I'm from New York, so you have high expectations for this pizza.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you meet them. I'm rooting for you here.
And you have Chick-fil-A there now. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. All right, ready?
Yeah.
It's good. It's really, really good. It's very, very tasty. I'm definitely going to try it in my dorm room, definitely for sure. Maybe not my dorm room, but maybe down the hall.
Not too expensive, not too hard to make. It was actually really fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
No, it looked really easily. I'm definitely going to try it when I get home.
Super filling, too.
So coming up, we're turning up the heat. Learn how to get your salsa on. Welcome back to ELN Morning. Tomorrow is the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. a time dedicated to celebrating cultures and Hispanic and Latinx cultures. Events are planned all throughout the month this month, and from Hispanic college coffee, a Latin soccer night, to musical performances and cultural discussions. To kick things off, we have Lucia Jervis, who is a reporter here for ELN News Network. Good to have you on the show. And her friend Sophia Wenzel. It's always good to have you on the show, too. Teach us here how to salsa dance. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for
really
having us.
Yeah, of course. So when did you guys first learn how to salsa dance?
I feel like you just learn it at parties, but I also took dancing lessons, so I learned more other moves there as well.
Well, I've always loved to dance, and I remember that every New Year's Eve, my parents and my grandparents would dance to salsa music, and I would want to learn, so I would kind of dance with them. And then at parties, and when I had my first dancing party, I went to my dad, and I was like, I really want to rock my salsa moves. So he started dancing with me, and that's how I learned.
There you go.
That's so much fun. And can you tell us a little bit about what this month is and what it means?
Yeah, of course. So Hispanic Heritage Month is a celebration of the Latino culture and of the Hispanic culture because, Latinos from Latin America, Hispanic is Spanish speaking, so also the countries in Spain. And just a celebration of our culture. There's a lot of countries that gained their independence during this month, so.
All right,
awesome.
well, we're going to let you guys get started.
Right.
Go do your thing over here. Yeah.
Well, okay, so the first step is you go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So if you guys
So
are
if you guys want to try, so it's you go to the front,
and 2,
and then you stay here, and then with the other foot, you go to the back.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Is
So
there
if we do
anything
it
you do
a
with
little,
your hands, particularly?
You can move them around.
slowly,
Get a little-
but everything's in your hips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Got it. Again.
I think so, yeah. I think so. Just to
One more
catch me
time.
up.
One more time. Okay. 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
All right.
Okay, so the second one is you go side to side. So you go 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Okay. Ready?
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
1 and 2, 3 and 4. And if you want to juice it up a little, you do a little kick.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 1.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Keep it simple.
I don't know.
Okay.
Diagonal one. Okay. And then the last one is really similar to this one, only that it's diagonal.
Okay.
So you'll go
Do you start on the right?
yes.
Okay.
So a little kick with your foot, and then you go to the back, and then you come back here, and then you do the same thing with the other foot. So, and now you add your hips. So you go 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Okay.
Again?
All right.
Got it?
Yeah, I think, all right, we'll do it a little bit after the show. Just to catch me up. Do the whole thing all over again. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't want to embarrass myself so much on
Something
television.
that's always helpful when
Yeah.
you're dancing and when you kind of miss a step or something is the turn. So you'll just go and you sway.
Oh, wow.
All right, gotcha. Well, I can't wait to practice that. That's all the salsa I can take right now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. For all the news you need to know when we're not on air, be sure to check out elonnewsnetwork.com.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Elon News Network. Have a great day, Elon. All right, let's practice some of these little moves really fast. Let's do it.
So you go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Side 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then diagonal 1, 2, 3 and 4. You got
I can
it.
get the hang of this.
Yeah, it's a diagonal part.
Actually, honestly, the turn is the easiest.
Yeah.
So you just sway and then sway again. With the